going on? A little bit different deal today. I'm using a GoPro right now just for a little bit. I think the battery's only got about half charge. But I wanted to see how it does. This is an older GoPro. Batteries aren't lasting very long, and it's not doing too great. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with it. Kind of contemplating buying a new one and just use my phone camera for backup, but I don't know, we'll see how this does. But just gonna kind of walk around out here in the woods today. Not really any plan, just kind of exploring and maybe look for some sheds, maybe see if we can find anything else cool. Maybe we'll find some cool rocks we can experiment with the old rock tumbler. But mainly I just wanted to get out of the house. Been dealing with this sinus infection for like a week and a half now, and we've had a lot of rain, so I really haven't been able to get out. I had like 9 days off and I barely been able to get out and enjoy any of it. So anyway, I thought I'd come out, and it's pretty chilly today. It got down to about excuse me, about 32 last night. It's gonna get down to about 28 tonight. So it's only, I think the high today is gonna be maybe 50, or it's only gonna feel like 40 something, but I think it's only gonna get up in the low 50s. But anyway, I wanted to just come out here and walk around, get some exercise. Thought I'd bring y'all with me. Maybe we'll find something cool. So, alright, let's get back to it. Alright, I'm kind of loosely following some deer trails, and we're basically on that farmland that, or what used to be farmland that was barbed wired. Excuse my sniffling. There's an old fence post. There's actually a nice game trail right through there. But the interesting thing about this land is it steps up and then comes, and it steps up and then steps up, and it goes on back over there, steps up and steps up again. All this land is just a bunch of little plateaus and whatnot, and they just cleared it all off and fenced it in and let the cows do their thing. But this is all pasture land at one time. I'm just gonna come down here where the spring is and look around there and mess around, and we'll probably head on. Like I said, I'm just kind of following little deer trails. Maybe I'll get lucky and find a shed or something. There's another one running right through there. This is a real pretty area. a spider web. Anyway, here's the spring. Again, I apologize for all the sniffing. Good thing about it being so cold today, I shouldn't have to worry about snakes. But it was getting pretty warm, so they could be moving around. A little minnow down there. Nice crystal clear spring water. Awesome. Got one more battery for this GoPro, and then I don't know how much charge it has on it though. This one was supposed to be fully charged and it was halfway. I think they're just getting old and they drain off. I'm not very happy with. You'd think the price of GoPros, they would batteries would last more than like an hour. Anyway, I kind of wanted to come on here and just look down in the spring and around it. You never know. Native Americans like to camp around springs, and who knows, we could find a nice point just laying in there. But maybe it's washed out of the bank. Never know. Some more of that barbed wire. Be careful about that. Alright, I was coming up this side and I looked over here and I noticed this really square stone, and there's a broken piece of possibly a square stone, and there's this pretty steep hill. I'm guessing they probably came washing down that hill over the years, possibly. So let's walk up here. Let's see what we can see. Maybe there's something interesting, maybe not. But you see something like that, you need to kind of keep your eyes open. I'm gonna walk around this fallen down tree. There's another one. Not as square, but you know, they just look unique because most of the rocks are, well, like rocks, not very square. I mean, that's what you're normally finding up here. So were those purposely thrown down there? I don't know. I know there was a home site somewhere in this area. You know, we've come out here looking for it before. Haven't been able to find it. just to give y'all a reference point, if you've been watching my videos, the trail where I found the quartz spear point should be up that way, and that should go all the way to where the power line cuts through, which is now makes sense since there's a spring down here why I found that out here. But if you remember, we also found the that ditch with all the rocks built up almost like little dams for catching water. That could have also been a spring at one time, and now it's dried up. So maybe that was for the Native Americans. Maybe they were using that. But I just haven't been able to find the European settlement up here. Because again, using those maps that I use, they don't always line up perfectly. So it's really hard to tell. But I'm thinking those rocks we just found back there were really nothing. I'm not seeing anything up here. In fact, I mean, this ground is, there's some pretty good spots for a home, but I would think it'd be up this way, not way back down there. I don't know, it's closer to the water. There's so much leaf cover on the ground, it's really hard to see things. I mean, without finding a definite chimney pile or something. We thought we kind of found it one time. I'm still not 100% sure that was it. Alright, well, I'm not going to spend all day out here looking for that. That's not what I came out here for. So let's go back across the old creek there, spring, shoot up that hill over there and connect back to the trail. Got some spots over there that we haven't checked as far as where there was a lot of big buck activity during the winter. Starting to get a little warm when you get out of the wind. I'm really glad I found these springs out here. It's pretty cool. Ooh. Yeah, that is thick. Just about fell in there. Oh, look at this root ball of this tree. Both of them, actually. You never know what you might find. I mean, we know there was native activity up there, around here. Safe to say this won't uproot and pull up something cool for us to look at. Sometimes they do. Whew. All right. I'll give you a quick lesson on something I learned. Pretty interesting. When you have a tree fall like this hole that it creates, it's called a cradle. And eventually, all this root ball will rot away and create a mound on this side. And they call that a pillow. It's called pillows and cradles. And you can actually use that to determine all kinds of things about the forest floor. Let's say you come out here 100 years from now when this is just a cradle and a pillow, and then you've got another one over here, another one over here, and they're all going the same direction. They're all about the same size. You can actually, if you know enough about the weather patterns in your area, and you know, let's say this wind's coming from the south, and you know that all your hurricanes come out of the south, and you could determine when those trees fell according to what storm. It's pretty cool. I need to leave a link to the videos, or not a link. I don't know how to do all that crap. That's too scientific for me. But I'll put down the channel name of the guy that talks about that stuff. It's really interesting. But he has a 3-part series where he talks about how to read the forest, and you can tell some really interesting stuff that's going on. I found it pretty fascinating. Most of what he's talking about is up in New England, but it still can relate to pretty much wherever you are. For instance, there's a little hole right there, and the pillow would be on this side, it looks like. So that tree probably fell this way. There's a pillow right there. That one's getting there. So you know that tree fell down this way. Pretty cool. Open. You need to be careful crossing these logs. Don't need to wake up a rattlesnake that's bedding down on a cold day. Here's a whole bunch of briars that are eating down. Should be coming up to the little road bed right here. Yep. Whew. Where I found that spear points down that way. But this is the area where there's a lot of deer activity. You can see some rubs right there on that tree. That's a good size one. It actually looks kind of fresh. Surprising. But all this stuff is chewed down. There's a trail up where they're walking up right through there a lot. think this might be the same trail me and my daughter followed that led us to those little rock piles. I'm sorry, that's not a rub. Back there it looked like a rub. That's just a bad spot in that tree. My apologies. But there's still a noticeable trail through here. Very noticeable trail. Yeah, here's where all those rocks are piled up. Yeah. There's one up there. Pile right here. There's another 2, 3, 4 piles. And then a big one where that tree's laying across it. And again, this is all in an area close to where I found that spear point. So my question is, and I haven't really got any contact from anybody on my channel that knows a lot about native activity, but I don't know if this is native or this is something that the white people in the area would have done. But like I say, the only home site close to this would be way over that way. Apologize for the wind noise. Probably gonna get pretty loud here. Yeah, I'm just kind of wandering around now. I'm not really looking for anything in particular. It's awful open out here though. So I'm starting to think, I wonder if this was farmland at one time. Because there are some tree falls evidence, but there's not any big ones. There's just small ones that are, say, within the last 100 years. So that probably means this land was all tilled up and farmed. And if that's the case, then those rock structures were for irrigation. And again, this is going off information I got from, or that I've been able to gather from after watching that guy's videos. And he'll tell you how to look at land and figure out if it's been farmland or pasture land. Pasture land, they don't worry about the ground being even because cows are fine. but you don't want to be tilling up, planting stuff on ground that's got holes all in it from tree falls. Plus all the trees in this area are probably just at less than 100 years old or less. I mean, the biggest trees out here are some of these pines. Yeah, I think we're looking at farmland. So that tells me that this was some kind of irrigation, is what I'm getting at now. This had to be some kind of way of catching rainwater and controlling where it went. Unless, like I say, unless there was a spring coming out of the ground up here somewhere, and this was an active spring and they were using it for the same purpose. But even though this ground itself is not even and it's sloping down, the lack of large 100-plus-year-old tree falls, you know, the cradles and pillows I was talking about, lack of that tells me that there's definitely some plowed land. So here's another pile of those rocks. Excuse me. Yep. Gotta be what this was. And then it just kind of filtered it all down there where they wanted it. Looks like there's another one right here. Yeah. You see this? Last time. It's covered in leaves. There's a pile there. And then a ditch. Looks like there was some here. Collapsed. Another ditched area. Yep. Well, that's cool. I think we figured it out. So this had to have been done by the people that had a home site way back over that way. They were probably farming this whole area. Had to be. Some more piles of rocks right there. Ow, that was my knee. Yeah, see, this is what it was doing. This is exactly what it's doing. Look here. See? It catches the water. Oh, look there. Ha! I was right. I was right. It's catching the rainwater. Because we've had so much rain, this is what's left. And see, look, you still got fresh water right there. You got water dripping down through here. Oh yes, that's awesome. I knew that had to be what this was for. That's awesome. All right. Well, let's head back over to the trail and see what we can see. Alright, so obviously now we're on the power line. It's a good place to look for sheds too, because the deer love coming out here. I don't know how long we're gonna walk down through here, but kind of like the power line where we're right down in South Carolina. This is high ground, and there's creeks. There's a creek down here, pretty good size one. So who knows? Could find some stuff up here. You never know. Probably not. It's probably all buried up under thousands of years of erosion and whatnot, but you know, you never know. Just gotta watch out for the fire ant mounds. Alright, heading down here to the creek. I'm just looking right through here. It looks like there's some good washouts. A lot of quartz and stuff. I don't know if we're going to be able to get in the creek. Oh, well, not a massive creek like it looked like, but really overgrown. That is a deep hole. Clear water. Look at those deep holes. Goodness. Pretty cool, huh? Don't know if I'm gonna be able to get on down there. There's pretty thick stuff here. Yeah, let's look over here. On this side. That's pretty clear water, ain't it? Over here where the deer are drinking. sunk down in the mud. Yummy. It'll dry off. Watch out for them low spots. A little minnow down there. So it's somewhat healthy. Nice little peaceful spot. Cool. Well, to be honest with you, I thought this was going to be a bigger, a little bit wider creek, you know, easier to get in, mess around in, but ain't looking like it. Plus, I don't have my big boots on, just my regular waterproof hikers. Ain't exactly the kind you want to wear in something like that. Well, I don't know how many ticks we're gonna have by the end of this video. I think I'm gonna head on back up, take me a break, eat something, and rehydrate. sit down and have myself a snack. A lunch of champions. I basically just made it back to where they have all their log splitters and equipment and stuff down here on the fire road. So I'm just gonna sit here and rehydrate and eat something and figure out where we're gonna go from here. But I think this video is already getting pretty dang long. I'm gonna have to edit out a lot of crap, and I hate editing these things. That's if this GoPro even works, if I can even get it to download, transfer it over to my phone so I can put it on YouTube, but we'll see. Anyway. Be back in a minute. Butterflies are flying around me. There he goes. Well, I think I'm just gonna head on out. It's about 3:30. Like I say, it's gonna get down to 20 something tonight, so it's already starting to get a little bit cooler. Glad I wore all these layers. I was kind of thinking I had too much on, but whenever I took a break, I just take them off a little bit, let them air out, and put them back on. I've been pretty comfortable. Anyway, I'm just gonna look along this road bed, see if I find any cool rocks that might be worth tumbling or something. I don't know what half of them are, but we'll take a few with us. There's a lot of nice yellow quartz, and not sure what some of this other stuff is. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching my videos, even though sometimes they're long and boring like this one. But it's nice to get out in the woods and just enjoy nature. I mean, it's worth it to me just to come out here. So I figure, why not film it, you know? Maybe somebody else will enjoy it. But it's a really beautiful day. Maybe we'll come out here tomorrow again. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. I got tonight and tomorrow night off, so finally getting out in the woods like I wanted to. But anyway, appreciate y'all watching.